Breaking news tonight, our first look at the body cam footage from Rochester police.
What is going on? How can I help?
What started as a family trouble call ended with a 9-year-old girl in the back of a police cruiser, handcuffed, then pepper sprayed.
Just clear at this point. I got her. I got her. Unbelievable.
The incident causing concern among residents and city leaders.
I don't know what it's like to be a cop, but I know what it's like to be a mother.
This incident shows why we need to fundamentally reimagine public safety in this community.
The incident again raising questions about the use of excessive force by Rochester police. Good evening, I'm Dan Schrack. Many are also wondering why the city's new crisis team wasn't called on Friday. We do have team coverage for you tonight. Andrew Bain is standing by, but we begin with Natalie Kutchko. Natalie?
Well, Dan, Mayor Lovely Warren spoke out today saying in light of transparency, RPD was to release the body camera footage within 48 hours. Now, both the mayor and police agree, saying there needs to be what they call a serious culture change in the way these types of situations are handled.
This is your last chance, otherwise pepper spray's going in your eyeballs. Come on, let's go.
Part of the exchange between a 9-year-old girl and Rochester police officers. Caught on body-worn camera, released to the public in a matter of days. The girl pepper sprayed by an officer after failing to comply with police.
This is not something that any of us should want to justify.
The call came Friday afternoon from Avenue B for the initial report of family trouble and a possible stolen vehicle. Ultimately, city officials say the child was suicidal, threatening to cause harm to herself and others. The redacted footage, Mayor Warren says, was held due to the victim's age and the protection of her identity at the request of her parent.
Sit up. No. You're acting like a child.
I am a child.
In an effort to be more transparent, Warren says the police department was timely in notifying her about the incident. However, the first release to the public came shortly after 8 o'clock the next morning.
Mayor, it took nearly 24 hours for any information on this incident to be released to the public. So, first, what calls for the silence both from yourself and from the police department?
Actually, it did not take 24 hours. I think that that's inaccurate information. On the night of the event, so the event, I believe, happened on Friday around 3:30. It was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I then watched the video. I immediately contacted City Council.
Both interim chief and executive deputy chief of the Rochester Police Department say change needs to come from within.
We are looking at a culture change. We need to make changes here. Many of the leaders that I talked to as part of our command staff looked at this and they were very concerned with what transpired with this child.
Part of that will come from an executive order Mayor Warren says the city is already working on and will continue to work on in the week ahead.
We had a 5-hour retreat on Friday. We plan to hit the ground again on Monday to go through these documents so that we can get that to the public.
Now, the mayor says additional body camera footage from other officers involved is expected to get released in the coming days, though she says the actions that occurred in the incident were both clear and evident from the video released today. Reporting live in Rochester, Natalie Kutchko, 13 WHAM News.
All right, thank you, Natalie. And just minutes ago, the head of the Rochester Police Union defended the officers responding to that call. Union President Mike Mazzio saying those criticizing the handling of that incident have never been in that position. He also added that it's easier for the city to blame the officers than come up with solutions.
When it's determined that she needs help and there's a mental hygiene, they have to be restrained. If that's not going to be the policy and the way that things are worked, then we need to change them.
Mazzio also said that every situation is different, and he feels the police responding that day did everything by the book. The city's new person in crisis team, or PIC team, was not dispatched to that call on Friday. The mayor says the call did not meet the initial requirements, and according to PIC's commissioner, the pilot program is not yet equipped to go to calls if police are already on scene.
RPD can speak to policies and procedures that they have regarding how they deal with changes on the scene and resources that are available. But the PIC team specifically, that co-response protocol procedure is under development.
City leaders and the Police Accountability Board are also weighing in after seeing that body camera video. 13 WHAM's Andrew Banis spoke with them about the actions and their demands they're making. Andrew?
Yeah, Dan, I'm hearing a lot of frustration about how this even happened, a lot of disappointment, and them wondering what exactly can be done to make sure it doesn't happen again.
It has been more than 48 hours now since a 9-year-old girl was handcuffed and pepper sprayed by police. Rochester City Council member Mary Lupien calls the body cam video from the incident heartbreaking.
It's a blow to this community and certainly to the family. It shows us how much work is still left to be done.
Lupien says she wants transparency from the Rochester Police Department about why this happened.
I do think that this command staff is more willing to take an honest look at the policing strategies used and take appropriate action. I'd like to see the officers taken off the street and disciplined.
Fellow council member Willie Lightfoot agrees.
That's where the mental health professionals should come in. I mean, clearly, this was a family issue and problem that needed to be handled by professionals.
He says he appreciates how quickly the information in the video was released to the public.
We're learning from our past mistakes. And I think that needs to be brought to this space. And people need to at first acknowledge that.
Connor Dwyer Reynolds, the executive director of the Police Accountability Board, says his organization has already written a letter to RPD demanding answers. Why did this happen, and where was the mental health team?
The Police Accountability Board wants all these questions answered and information provided as quickly as possible so the community can have answers sooner rather than later.
And Dan, you hear it there. All three of the individuals I spoke with say that they want mental health professionals to be responding to these calls. And this is an example of how this could have helped the situation had they been there. They also are asking the Rochester Police Department to release the rest of that body cam video. They say right now that redacted version only shows some of the story. They want the rest of it. Reporting live, Andrew Banis, 13 WHAM News.
All right, Andrew, thank you for that. And we will continue to follow this breaking news story tonight. You can find the latest information online, our website, 13wham.com.